What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to give my prediction for the Cheez It Bowl matchup between the Florida State Seminoles versus the Oklahoma Sooners. But if you haven't, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. This is a matchup, guys, that I thought was very, very interesting, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to just read off the stats for both teams. We all know Brent Venables is Oklahoma's current head coach, and he took up the job when Lincoln Riley took the job over at USC. So y'all know Brent Venables is a great defensive-minded coach, has roots at Oklahoma, being there. Did a phenomenal job at Clemson as the defensive coordinator, and I think he's going to bring that mentality to Oklahoma. But he had a first kind of rough season in his first year, but Oklahoma went 6-6 and was able to be bowl eligible. And we all know they have a great offense. Oklahoma's always had great offense while Lincoln Riley was there. But now they have Jeff Lebby, former offensive coordinator at UCF, and great offensive-minded guy. And speaking of Oklahoma, they have a guy that was at UCF while Jeff Lebby was there, and that's Dillon Gabriel, their current quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners. Great guy, thrown for 2,925 yards with 24 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. What can you ask for? This guy's a great quarterback, led this Oklahoma offense throughout the whole season, and for the most part did his job, for the team. And like I said, you would like to think he has a great relationship with Jeff Lebby, considering, he was calling plays over there at UCF with Dillon Gabriel. So great continuity with the offense, and Oklahoma has some weapons around them. I'm going to just read out some of the guys that they have. Of course, they have Marvin Harrison. This is a guy, not Marvin Harrison, I'm sorry, Marvin Mims Jr. I'm sorry, guys. Marvin Mims Jr. And he's a 1,000-yard receiver. He has 1,006 yards. He has 6 touchdowns. This is a beast of a player ever since he's been there at Oklahoma, and definitely their leading receiver. They also have Jalil Farouk. This is a guy coming in, got some playing time, and definitely stepped up. He has 407 yards on the season, and he has 4 touchdowns. They also have Theo Weiss. This is a guy that's been injured, but was able to get some playing time as well, and increased playing time. 378 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. So great 3 receivers there for Oklahoma. And they also have tight end Braden Willis, who has 456 receiving yards and has 7 touchdowns. So Oklahoma, you can pick a litter at wide receiver. A lot of talented players around. Oklahoma recruits at the highest level, and currently I think they're number 5 in recruiting. I know they're in the top 10 in recruiting. Like I said, Brent Venables is a heck of a coach, great recruiter, great defensive mind, and definitely have players to work with. Now, I did some research on Oklahoma. In this matchup, they're going to be missing some players. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to be missing out on Anton Harrison. I believe he's their left tackle. He played a little bit at right tackle, but he's primarily played at the left tackle position. They're also going to be out Wanye Morris, the right tackle. And they're also going to be out their senior running back in Eric Gray, the Tennessee transfer. His first year, he did a phenomenal job for Oklahoma, and he's rushed for 1,366 yards and 11 touchdowns in 2022. So this is a huge loss for Oklahoma in this matchup, and he's not going to be in this game, as well as the 2 tackles. So that could play dividends in this matchup. But other than Eric Gray at running back, Oklahoma does have, some key players in Javonte Barnes. He can definitely step up. He has 411 yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. So Javonte Barnes is going to get an increase in carrying time. And also Marcus Major, he has 227 yards on the season with 4 touchdowns. So like I said, Oklahoma just the next guy up. These guys are going to get increased playing time. And like I said, these guys on this Oklahoma team, don't get it twisted. Oklahoma is lethal offensively, and Dillon Gabriel has 298 on the ground with 5 touchdowns. So like I said, Oklahoma got playmakers, and this is going to be an intriguing matchup. On the flip side, we all know Florida State under Mike Norvell has gotten better as the season going on. what can I say about Jordan Travis, their quarterback? He's thrown for 2,796 yards. He has 22 touchdowns and 40 interceptions. So this guy is faster than you think, guys. I saw that game he played against Florida, and he just really had a great game in that game. And he's just been doing good all season, and definitely an elite guy at the quarterback position. Also, at running back for Florida State, they have Trey Benson. He's ran for 965 yards with 9 touchdowns. This dude is averaging 6.8 yards a carry, so beast of a player for Florida State. And they also have Trayshawn Ward with 547 yards and 5 touchdowns. So 2 good, capable running backs for Florida State. Not mistaken, Florida State doesn't have any opt-outs for this game, so they're pretty much going to be at full strength coming into this matchup. Wide receiver, they got Johnny Wilson, 695 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. Great player. Ontario Wilson, 421 yards with 3 touchdowns. Micah Pittman, I'm sorry. He has 317 yards with 3 touchdowns. So this Florida State offense is pretty good as well, and they got a good running attack as well. Jordan Travis has 367 yards on the ground with 7 touchdowns. So both quarterbacks on both teams can run the ball. They can extend plays, and they're a threat at run the ball as well as passing it. So this is going to be an intriguing matchup, guys. I can't wait to see this matchup. Now I'm going to read off some stats here that, I want to read off. Points per game. Oklahoma's getting 32.9 points per game. That's really good. Florida State is getting 36.2. Florida State got a slight edge in points per game. Points allowed per game. Oklahoma's giving up 29.6. Florida State's only giving up 19.7. So Florida State has a slightly better offense, and they got the better defense. It's a 10-point difference in the points allowed per game between the two teams. Total yards, 472 for Oklahoma. That's 255 through the air that they're getting, and they're getting 216 on the ground. Very balanced offense for Oklahoma. Very efficient as well. Really good. Florida State, they're getting 475 per game. They're getting 257 through the air and 217 on the ground. Almost identical, guys. These teams are identical at passing and rushing per game. So I get an edge to both teams, guys. Both teams are neck and neck right there. They right with each other. Yards allowed. Oklahoma's allowing 450 yards per game to opponents. They're allowing 261 through the air, and they're allowing 189 on the ground. In my opinion, that's too much defensively. In my opinion, anything over, like if you get up to 250 passing, quarterback had a pretty good day. And 189 on the ground, anything above 150, in my opinion, that's a good day rushing the ball. So Oklahoma has to do a better job defensively in this matchup against Florida State. That's really good. Florida State, they're giving up 307 per game to opponents. They're allowing 158 through the air, and they're allowing 148 on the ground. They do a pretty good job stopping the pass, but the run game is right there at the sweet spot, right up under it. So Florida State's going to have to stop Oklahoma's rushing attack in this matchup to have a chance. Now, I'm looking at the teams that both teams played. Like I said, Oklahoma went 6-6. They took, a loss to Kansas State. Adrian Martinez had a good day. Not Adrian Martinez. Yeah, Adrian Martinez. Yeah, he was the quarterback for Kansas State at that time. He had a good day. He was the Oklahoma transfer and decided to come to not Oklahoma, Nebraska. I'm sorry, Nebraska transfer, and they were able to come to Kansas State, and Oklahoma lost that game 41-34. Like I said, Adrian Martinez had a good day in that game. TCU, we all know TCU is in the playoffs. They lost 55-24. Oklahoma just had problems, defensively, poor tackling and stuff like that, that plagued them throughout the season. Texas, they lost 49-0. I thought that was going to be a better game. It's a big game, river rivalry, and I thought Oklahoma was going to put up, some points in that matchup, but wasn't able to put anything up. You got to take your hats off to Texas in that matchup. But Oklahoma bounced back, beat Kansas 52-42, beat Iowa 27-13, took a loss to Baylor 38-35, but it was a close matchup. Lost to a bad West Virginia team. West Virginia, in my opinion, is not that good. Lost 23-20, but it was a low-scoring game for the most part. But beat in-state rival Oklahoma State 28-13. That's always good to beat your in-state rival, and Oklahoma State was pretty good this season, so huge win for Oklahoma. Then lost to Texas Tech 51-48 in overtime. So Oklahoma's going into this matchup with a loss, but hopefully they can pick up some things, even without the absence of their tackles and Eric Gray. So Oklahoma are going to have their hands full in this matchup, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Florida State, on the other hand, got a big win over LSU, the eventual SEC West, representative, and beat them 24-23. Beat Louisville 35-31. Beat Boston College 44-14. I expected that. Lost to Wake Forest, a team that's kind of sneaky good offensively. Lost 31-21. So that could be interesting. They lost to Wake Forest. Oklahoma's really, really good offensively. So this could be a good matchup, guys. North Carolina State, they lost 19-17. North Carolina State had one of the best defenses in the ACC, so took a loss from them. Clemson, they lost 34-28. A Clemson team that's been up and down, with DJ Ugalele. But they was able to pull out a victory against Florida State in that matchup. I thought Florida State wouldn't been able to. And they did keep up with them, guys, but took the loss there. Tough loss. Beat Georgia Tech. Beat a Miami team that's not good this season. A lot of expectations for Miami, but Miami just wasn't able to produce this season. So was able to beat Miami, beat Syracuse 38-3, beat Louisiana 49-17, and capped off a good win against Florida, guys. Beating them 45-38. The game looks closer than what it was, but Florida State had that game in hand the whole matchup. So like I said, Florida State coming into this matchup with a win, and they look to continue with a win against Oklahoma. Now, I'm looking at the stats, guys, and this is going to be a good matchup. I'm looking at the spread. The spread is at 9.5 for Florida State. If I had to give my prediction for this matchup, I think Florida State is going to get the victory. I think they're going to win 38-28. I think Oklahoma's two tackles not being in the game and having a guy like Eric Gray, the leader he's a leader in Oklahoma's locker room, and he's not going to be there. He opted out, and I think that's going to hurt Oklahoma in a sense. I think Javonte Barnes and Marcus Major might get some playing time, and definitely step up. But I think in the end, having both of your tackles out, I think that can pose a problem for Oklahoma, and I think Florida State will be able to play good enough defensively to win this game. Plus, on the offensive side, like I said, both teams are good offensively, but Florida State has the better defense, and only when a team has the better defense and you're missing your tackles, that can spell disaster. I could be wrong. Oklahoma could definitely pull this out and win this game, but I got Florida State win this game 38-28. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, guys, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.